You know, I think it was last year or the previous year where I said my New Year's resolution was to be on track with the videos. I don't know. Life happens, guys. Regardless, I've got a huge shipment coming in the next few weeks, so please stand by for that. The reviews are going to be awesome. I've got a lot of interesting characters coming up, 1/6 scale figures, etc. You guys know the deal. Now, this has actually been sitting on my desk for a very long time. I just didn't get around to it, and sometimes I get so many things that I forget that I have them. So this is kind of what happened with Faye. But you know, time is irrelevant for her, and if you've watched the actual anime, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. And she's kind of a woman that's displaced. I mean, literally, she's from a different time. She's got a very interesting backstory, probably one of the most interesting in anime, if not the most messed up, and really responsible for the road to leading her to become a bounty hunter in the first place. It's hilarious, guys, and if you watch the anime, you'll know, again, exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't, I won't spoil it for you, but you should definitely watch CowBoy Bebop. Some pretty exciting news also in this market. I think First 4 Figures is making the 1/8 scale version of Faye Valentine, and it looks very interesting, and I think the pre-orders are already up. I'm going to have that in the studio once it's released so that I can review it for you. But today, I've got something pretty cool, so let's go ahead and get started. And essentially, we're just continuing the line that we already started. So today we're going to be reviewing Good Smile and Pop-Up Parade's version of Faye Valentine from CowBoy Bebop. Let's take a closer look. Now, fortunately for all you bounty hunters out there who are searching for a Faye figure and don't have too many Woolongs lying around, this is a budget-friendly figure. Now, budget does not mean cheap, or it doesn't mean that it's mediocre. Actually, for the price point, this is a very beautiful head sculpt. Just take a look at the eyes, the color palette in the hair. I definitely love the bandana, and the countenance in the face is great, especially the application of the makeup. No CQC, or CQC, no QC problems here, and I think overall this is a very nice sculpt in the face. The midsection and upper torso of this piece is also very interesting. I love the way that it's sculpted, particularly in the lapel. I love how it offsets against the skin tones. Now, they did take a little bit of liberties with her costume, mostly in the palette. Now, instead of going with a yellow anime look, they went with a more gold leaf look, which is fine. I definitely love her scarf or her sweater, whatever that thing is. There's a nice dull red to it, and again, it offsets against the skin tone and the gold leaf of her actual costume, bustier, whatever you want to call it. Overall, it's really nice. The lower section of this piece is definitely my favorite because there's a lot of interesting things going on here. Particularly in her shorts or her short shorts. Again, it's that wonderful gold leaf color with the black strands offsetting against the skin, which looks really nice. The skin tone is done very perfectly, and as you can see, you can actually see the difference in the actual stockings from her skin. And of course, she's got her 9mm, which is really awesome. The sculpt in the boots I really like, and I like the fact that she's got one leg raised. And it's not too much detail, but I don't think it needs to be because this is very anime-esque. I like that robin's egg blue. Overall, it's very, very well sculpted. Now, you don't necessarily need to go out and mirror this piece, but the name of the game for this one is viewing angles. Now, what the hell does that mean? It means because of the way that this piece is sculpted, the angle, you have to play with it a little bit to get the best viewing angle, which is pretty interesting. And that makes it a very unique challenge when you're shelving it. Now, on the reverse side, you get a better sense of the sculpt in the sweater or the scarf that she's wearing. I think it's really cool. You know, her fan service is, hit or miss sometimes. Sometimes she's very voluptuous, other times she's rather emaciated, but that's just, anime magic. Just be patient with this one in getting the right viewing angle. I really like what Pop-Up Parade did here with the bases. They kept it simple, not intricate, not overly complicated. It's just a hexagonal slab, it's black. And this is important because it doesn't detract from the actual figure itself. I mean, they're not that big to begin with, so you really don't want to have things too elaborate. Not to mention the uniformity helps out because when you basically display them together, they're going to look really nice and uniform, which is what you want in this kind of set. So I like what they did. It's very weird, but CowBoy Bebop figures are of two extremes. You either have budget-friendly figures that are very affordable, or you have the ones that are just so expensive that unless you're a true hardcore fan, you won't shell out that kind of money. And that's a shame. But I'm glad to see that companies like First 4 Figures, Pop-Up Parade are making more budget-friendly figures, and they're actually very detailed and not cheap or, lack any kind of quality. So this is actually good news. I'm glad that more is coming out. So stay tuned for that, guys. I'm definitely going to review that First 4 Figures Faye along with the rest of the crew, just like I'm doing with this line from Pop-Up Parade. Overall, I have to say this is definitely worth the price. They're not that expensive, and they're just a nice thing to have in your collection because I think they're very well sculpted. Now, before I go, I just want to thank the folks over at Big Bad Toy Store for sending this wonderful piece over for review. And if you're interested in this and other collectibles, please visit www.bigbadtoystore.com. Alright everybody, so that's my official review on Good Smile Pop-Up Parade's version of Faye Valentine from CowBoy Bebop. As always, I thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next Route Desert Reviews.